不是，你先逼，你先逼，
按铃铛，
我已经按了，再往下。
On December 27, 2025 at approximately 11:05 p.m. local time, a powerful earthquake with a magnitude of 7.0 struck off the northeastern coast of Taiwan, near Yilan County, according to the Central Weather Administration. The earthquake had a focal depth of approximately 72 kilometers, placing it in the category of a mid-crustal seismic event. Taiwan, situated on the boundary between the Philippine Sea Plate and the Eurasian Plate, is part of one of East Asia's most seismically active regions. Experts immediately recognized the potential for widespread shaking across the island. Preliminary assessments described this earthquake as among the strongest in the region since the 2024 Hualien event, which also exceeded magnitude 7.0, highlighting the ongoing vulnerability of densely populated areas along Taiwan's eastern coast. The tremors rippled across the island, affecting residents from Yilan and Hualien in the east to Taipei, New Taipei, Taoyuan, Hsinchu, and Taichung in the north and central regions. Taiwan's seismic intensity map indicated level 4 shaking in multiple municipalities, strong enough to move unsecured objects, sway furniture, and rattle buildings. Eyewitnesses in Taipei described several seconds of pronounced shaking, prompting residents to evacuate their apartments and take cover under tables.
很大，建造。先出来吧。
先出来，不要，黄冠，你过来，我边。
哇，超摇的！
啊，有啊，这两个加西朗。
哦，6.7。哦，还在摇。
好大哇！吓死人了！你不要按啦，你要。
Reports from Hualien and Yilan highlighted that tall buildings oscillated noticeably, causing momentary panic among residents. Traffic and public transportation were immediately disrupted, with many commuters stranded as rail and metro authorities paused services for safety inspections.
大地震，该新闻了。新。
说啥？
不要挤在门口。
In addition to the immediate shaking, infrastructure and public utilities experienced minor disruptions. The Taiwan Power Company reported that approximately 3,000 households in Yilan County experienced brief power outages, though service was largely restored within an hour. Telecommunications and water systems were checked as a precaution, and no major outages were reported. Industrial facilities, particularly within the Hsinchu Science Park, implemented precautionary safety measures. Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company confirmed temporary evacuations at several of its plants, with employees returning to work after safety inspections confirmed no significant damage. Local hospitals and emergency medical services were placed on alert, ready to respond to any injuries, though no casualties were reported at the time of initial reporting. Authorities issued warnings about potential aftershocks, indicating that seismic activity could continue over the next several days, with aftershocks possibly reaching magnitudes between 5.5 and 6.0. Residents were advised to follow standard earthquake safety procedures, avoid unstable structures, and stay away from coastal or mountainous areas where landslides or rockfalls could occur. Social media platforms across Taiwan were filled with first-hand accounts, including videos of swaying buildings, rattling furniture, and minor cracks in older structures. Despite the dramatic tremors, early assessments confirmed that no large-scale structural damage or fatalities had occurred. The earthquake's impact extended beyond Taiwan's borders. According to the China Earthquake Network Center, the same event was recorded near the waters off Yilan County, with tremors reaching China's eastern coastal provinces.
我这灯再晃两下就掉下来了。
老爸，我跟你去。
Residents in Fujian, Zhejiang, Guangdong, and Shanghai reported noticeable shaking, particularly in high-rise buildings. In Fuzhou, Xiamen, and Quanzhou, office workers and apartment residents described sudden jolts that rattled lights, furniture, and windows. Chinese authorities confirmed that no structural damage or casualties had been reported, though emergency management departments reminded citizens to remain alert. In Fujian, officials advised residents to check buildings for cracks or instability and to prepare for minor aftershock. Offices and schools temporarily implemented precautionary measures, including evacuations in taller buildings. Similar reports from Zhejiang and Guangdong indicated that while tremors were noticeable, operations in businesses and public services largely continued normally. The earthquake was also perceptible in Hong Kong and Macau, where residents reported minor shaking. Local meteorological and seismological agencies noted that tremors were brief but detectable, emphasizing that while no damage occurred, monitoring and preparedness remained important given the quake's magnitude and offshore epicenter.
có地震啊啦，爱惨，搁硬摇的，你看，特别适度，爱惨，搁地摇呀，哦，你看，惊死人，安尼爱惨硬摇的，说特别滑倒，你看安尼，爱惨硬摇的，摇落就响，特别适度，你看爱惨，够嗨啊啦。
Experts highlighted that the event underscores the interconnectedness of the region's seismic activity. A major quake in Taiwan can generate felt tremors across China and neighboring areas due to the relatively shallow depth and energy release. Geologists emphasize the importance of earthquake-resistant infrastructure, emergency preparedness, and continuous public education about seismic risk. Officials in both Taiwan and China coordinated to monitor aftershocks, conduct structural inspections, and ensure the readiness of emergency response teams. Historically, Taiwan has experienced several major earthquakes that have caused significant damage. More recently, the 2024 Hualien earthquake also highlighted the island's seismic vulnerability. Authorities stress that ongoing monitoring, adherence to building codes, and community preparedness are essential to mitigate risks from future earthquakes.
我是几级？哦。
我操！地震！
In response to the earthquake, Taiwanese agencies deployed rapid assessment teams to inspect critical infrastructure, including roads, bridges, power grids, and public transportation hubs. Emergency shelters were opened in Yilan, Hualien, and Taipei for residents who felt unsafe returning home, and the National Fire Agency conducted precautionary checks for landslide-prone areas in the eastern hills. Government communications emphasized that while the initial quake did not result in major damage, the ongoing monitoring of aftershocks is crucial. In China, provincial emergency management authorities issued guidance to residents on how to respond to tremors, including securing heavy objects, remaining away from windows, and preparing emergency kit. Hospitals and medical centers reviewed contingency plans, and public service announcements reminded citizens that while the shaking was temporary, vigilance remains important. As of the latest reports, the situation remains stable, with no new casualties or major damage identified. Both Taiwan and Chinese authorities continue to track aftershocks and provide updates to the public. The event serves as a stark reminder of the seismic risks in the Taiwan Strait region and the importance of cross-regional preparedness, coordination, and public awareness.
过来。
季风刚好大。
现在是